Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a really short video. And this video is on preaching before you teach. There's a lot of emphasis to that, and a lot of people say things like, how is she saying that when she doesn't do it herself? Like, and this is so common because every time you preach something, they say practice before you preach and preach before you teach. So they're like, every time you find someone preaching or teaching something, the first question that people make, do you practice it? Do you preach it? Because if you don't, you have no right to tell me what to do, right? So if I'm eating non-vegetarian food and if I ask you to eat vegetarian, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to say, do you eat vegetarian? And if you are eating non-vegetarian, how can you ask me to eat vegetarian? Just an example, but this applies to a lot of different life situations. I want you to think long and hard. Is it really necessary that a person has to do something before telling you how to do it? Why? Why do you say that I have to preach it before teaching it? There could be a lot of reasons why I'm not preaching it, you know? And maybe it's precisely because I've not gone down that route that I know what I have missed out on, you know? Okay, I'm a failure. I'm a failure and I'm teaching you how to succeed. So you're coming to me and you're saying, you have failed yourself. What do you know about success? Why should I listen to you? First, be a success and then tell me how to be successful. Now, the problem is because I didn't do X, Y, and Z, because I was alcoholic, because I was a drug dealer, because I never woke up before 2 p.m., because I never learned discipline. That is why I was a failure, and that's why I know what my sources of failure were, what my causes of failure were. And that is why I'm in a better position to tell you what not to do because I know better what not to do and I know better what led to my failure. I don't have to be a success to tell you about success. And you know what happens? Let us say I am a success and I'm telling you how to be successful. You'll be like, she's prescriptive. She's over the top arrogant now. Now that she's successful, she's overconfident. She thinks of herself in very high regard. It doesn't really matter if it took her XYZ route. Doesn't mean we'll take the same route. We could take ABC. Who is she to tell us? See, she's successful and now she thinks she can rule the world. The same rules don't apply to me. Why is she being so authoritative and blah 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 blah? It's not that if someone is genuinely preaching what they are teaching, you would respect it. You wouldn't. You would again have a, even if you do respect it, you would have 1,000 reasons or excuses why it is easier for me to do it than it is for you. Well, she could do it because you know what, her family was supportive. Well, she could do it because you know what, she's earning that much and she can, but I can't. You know, I have such and such limitations. So it's not that when people genuinely preach what they teach, you listen to them. It's not like that. You still don't. You still come up with excuses. And let's put this aside. Let's say the person is still preaching what he is teaching. But if you listen to it and you think that that could work for you, why can't you just accept it? If a person smokes all day but is asking me not to smoke, how the hell does it matter if he is harming his body? He is teaching me the right thing. I can still accept it. Why do I have to check him first? Can you answer me why? When I know smoking is not good for me and he's saying the right thing to me, the topic of discussion is me, it's not him. So when he is saying don't smoke and he's saying something right and that'll help me, why should I cross question him by saying first you stop smoking, then ask me not to smoke? Why am I doing this act? Why? Why? I to this date have not understood why people do it. Because I don't. Is it ego? I think, of course, it's ego, but it's not healthy. A healthy ego would say, I think you're right, but why don't you do it yourself too? Let the two of us do it together. Let's see who wins first. Let's see who gives up the addiction first. You and I, both of us. What say? That's still healthy ego. But unhealthy ego is like, if you smoke, you have no authority to tell me to stop smoking. Why do you do that? Why? Will you only listen to people of high caliber, prime ministers and CEOs and all of these people, like Sundar Pichai knocking on your door and saying, hey, don't smoke? Is it only then that you'll stop smoking? And then you'll still say, oh, he's a CEO and he's telling me what to do. Go rule your employees. Don't tell random people what I need to do. It's my prerogative to decide what I need to do with my body and my life. You're going to say the same thing. And you're going to blame him even more precisely because he's successful. You're going to attribute his advices to his success. And you're going to say, because this person is successful, this person is speaking way too much. So either ways, so let's stop. Let us, every time somebody gives us a good advice, and if we know that that advice is going to help us, let us stop examining that person's individual capacity, caliber, that person's individual implementation of what he's asking us to do. And without examining that person, let us just examine ourselves, not this. Let us do this and just implement it, because this is our journey of our soul, our life. If you want to examine the other person to take care of him, you can do that. So if I'm really concerned about a drug addict and the drug addict is telling me not to do drugs, if I'm concerned, now concern is a very good feeling. If I'm concerned, I'll say, I understand, but don't you think you do a lot of drugs yourself? Let us do it together. That's a beautiful way to address it. But if you're not doing it out of concern, if you're only doing it to put that person down, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I don't see you progressing spiritually. What is spiritual? We are spirits, we are souls. Anything related to spirit is spiritual, right? And I don't see you evolving spiritually if you question the other person. So let us stop examining that. That's it. That's all I wanted to make this video for. Let's just stop examining people and let's accept everything that they're asking us to do. We have our own judgments of what's right and what's not. And as we grow, we don't like to be told that what we are doing is wrong, especially if we've grown, like we are 20, 25. The older we grow, the more we like to think of ourselves as the most experienced. And that is precisely why we are angry when somebody else comes and tells us that your way is not the best way. Because by doing that, they are invalidating my experiences, invalidating my knowledge. How dare they do that? We make it an ego issue. Shed your ego. Because growing up precisely means to accept that my experiences may not be the best. And what I have learned may not be the best. Maybe there's more to life than what I have learned in 30, 40, or 50 years, even 60. And that is being humble. Being humble is not giving food to a beggar. Being humble doesn't mean just being humble about your money. Being humble means being humble about the kindness with which you treat other people. How are you humble if you're not even kind? You're not humble. And that will punish you in your own life. Somehow or the other, in some form, it will come to haunt you. It will punish you. So let's avoid that and let us be humble. Even if we don't see a person following something, they are saying something good to us. Following that will help us. Let us follow that. Let us be good people. Ciao.